What am I missing? I'm forgetting something probably. Anyway, we'll jump back in. Let's actually get some stuff done here. Okay, we're back at the body. I forget what I was gonna do. You know, Miso, when you're on my lap, it's hard to put my elbows anywhere. I don't know why. Probably reorient my armrests. A water main burst in the building next to yours. Underground garage got flooded waist high and then froze. Dang. That's horrible. Wait, there were cars down there, right? That's iffy. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, happy birthday, Aaron. All right, what do we got going on? 0 skill points. Miso, you have too many hairs. Okay, you have too many hairs. Morning, Ronnie. All right, what were we looking at before? Search for the caller. Ask the station for additional funds. I did. Didn't go well. Don't know where my badge is. Don't know where my gun is. The rest of the armor. Kuno lied to me. Okay, so we can go talk to Kuno again. Tattoos, possible meetings. Oh, okay, that'd be a good idea. Access the harbor. We still can't do that. Oh, and the lost. Cool. Get the boots off his feet. And find all the armor. I don't understand what the maps are.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants.
He has more hair than he needs himself.
His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity.
I have something I need to know, Corpse Man. I'll also turn the volume back up.
Of course. You have questions, don't you? The power of your imagination is at your service.
Peace out. You're stinking, you're boring.
Remind you of someone.
Myself.
There you go. Look at that bright kid. We're birds of a feather, you and I. Soon you'll be just like me. Just keep drinking and having a good time. It's a matter of weeks.
Feeling nausea, vomiting, tenderness or pain around the liver area, tiny red lines on the skin above waist level, more like days, Coppo. The clock is ticking. Your liver tells you so.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Obviously
Between
no.
you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Nah.
Good for you. Come back later, Corpo.
Look at the
The
boots.
material, delicate and fragile. The
back
cadaver
off.
slowly twists.
Okay. Let's chat with Kuno again, my favorite character. Hey, good morning, Cass.
Kuno care?
Yes, I think we can get to know each other.
Found your
first, I
shack.
think you should know
You
that I'm
found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck
Ron,
did
thank you very
get
much
in?
for the 25 months. Thank you very much. Said it was some roofing material.
That's the past. You and Kuno are now. Let's
Your
talk
sub
about
age is
how
your
you
maturity
opened the
level.
secret door, fucking at Kuno's kingdom.
It's a little higher than mine then. Push
And
the
then
panels
what?
aside.
You fucking there. You fucking Kuno's kingdom.
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno.
Could I get into the harbor
Of
from the
course
roof?
you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? just gotta fly, pig.
I tried that. It
Kuno
didn't go
knows.
well.
Kuno and C saw you shit yourself. It's okay, pig. Not everyone can face the fear Kuno style.
Kuno
That's all
style.
there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
It's with the tube of
It's a
magnesium.
vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a battle.
Rips mag like a motherfucker.
Teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD!
You
You're
never
gonna
forget them
fucking
characters?
die.
I hope not. I want to forget this guy. He's so annoying. Plate covered with
After
powder
Kuno
residue.
gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd
Did
like
we
to
arrest
ride
him?
the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
What was with the pig
How's
head?
that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
I kind of want to say this. Nah, demo tape.
Yeah. Kuno plays on snuff radio.
Snuff
Fucks
radio.
pigs live. Fucks their heads off. Kuno's a cop killer.
I don't think Kuno's a cop killer. I think he just likes to talk. Is that my
Is it?
code up there?
You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that.
Or
Don't
what?
sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno's not snitching.
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it.
Okay.
Good call, pig.
Polo and
Meister.
shorts.
Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Talk to Mnyane about the armor.
So,
Zed told me you promised to sick
Yeah,
the pigs
so-
on him.
Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello!
I think Kuno S might be worse, honestly.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. You
I'll
got
remember this.
fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, Grief and the Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting!
I don't think there's
The
anything.
fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk.
Okay,
to
I've never
Kuno.
asked who is Kuno.
Kuno's Kuno, pig.
Kuno. Primal. Violent.
The third person.
The fuck are you calling a third person?
Kuno's the
Kuno's
first
the
person.
fucking first person?
Oh
He
man,
looks slightly confused, but proud he came up with that
it
ritual.
was pretty good.
But right as he's getting distracted, you hear a malevolent hiss from behind the fence.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Answer the
Help! He's
questions.
sticking his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
Red check, it cannot be retried. I mean, I don't want to punch him. No, I don't want to lose that. Are you high right now?
Misters, help!
Rolling super hard. He's having the time of his life. Total ecstasy. Fuck the pig.
He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals! If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late!
Who put you up to
No one-
this?
Kuno's doing this because he likes it, pig.
You punched him?
This is where Kuno establishes dominance over you.
Help! The pig's gagging him!
All
Kuno
right.
can't speak!
It was green. That's good, right?
Thump. The blow connects surprisingly well, leaving your knuckles tingling.
That'll shut him up.
Kuno feels it. This was no light tap.
What? I think we can have a normal conversation now.
Officer, this is very far from normal police conduct.
Pretty much everything has
Get
been
yourself
far
together.
from. Actually, no. This isn't far from normal. Come on.
For heaven's sake, he thinks. This has gone too far. Don't make this any worse than it is. Just get back to questioning the kid.
Okay, pig.
Yeah, for them maybe. Something happened. The punch made him calmer.
If this act was about him trying to establish dominance over you, it's safe to say things didn't go as he'd planned.
Kuno knows to respect that violent shit. You should see Kuno's dad. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about anything.
I could have told you that.
The creature behind the fence has fallen ominously silent. Only her eyes are alive, jumping from actor to actor.
Okay, pig. Talk to Kuno. We're back in this shit. The fuck do you want?
He's on your
Come
crime
on.
scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Want to help the RCM bust a
no.
murderer?
Kuno, they've almost made you a snitch now.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Ease off, see? Kuno always takes the bullet over the hammer.
Okay, I need points and empathy.
You're dreaming, pig.
A little. But don't expect anything to change.
Don't let him dominate you, Kuno. Fuck his fat ass.
Okay.
Kuno doesn't.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels.
I knew it wasn't the
Yeah,
alcohol.
The other things. Long live the other things. Made you strong as an ox, they have. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream. You need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and
A magnesium-based life form.
and the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium.
No, we're gonna stop thinking about this. I don't think that's gonna go anywhere good. What do we got? Might take a while. Need a bull. Need to ask around about the tattoos. Probably at the harbor. I don't think you have anything new.
I can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime just a few days ago.
Let's talk to the racist.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
What are you hauling?
Not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
What are you supposed to pick up?
Apples. Yeah, apples.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
Okay, bye. What's in the door here?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
This is probably the racist's vehicle then.
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
Yep.
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over. He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared, racist lorry man.
They scared now? Is it true? Are you scared?
Looking for something, Hunt?
Yeah. Oops. Hey, we got magnesium. What's in here? Oh, this is the fruit.
The tear machine stands in the corner.
It autosaves at the weirdest times.
You see several packaged raincoats. Phil,
I definitely don't want a raincoat.
Is this about the questions again?
No. Okay. Let's go back up to the... No, let's talk to more people at the harbor first, and then we'll go back up to the roof. I wonder if talking to Kuno will help me get my jacket down. I can almost afford a raincoat.
right to work. Right to...
Okay.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star.
Can I almost afford paying my bill? No.
Hundreds of fading asterisks.
And it's almost
riddle his
4:30.
skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky, but gone.
Who are you? What's the
for
meaning?
you to discover. Someone close to the victim might know. Right to work. Right.
Close to the victim.
All I'm wondering, man. How can I help you? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Very fun and easy.
Post Laventorie said the same thing. They tried to get me to be their postman. So fun, so easy, they said. It's just walking. It wasn't. I'm doing much better here at the harbor. Being an honest union man with a lot of free time on his hands.
Okay. Let's go back to the roof. Maybe we need to actually get into the harbor to find somebody close to him. There's more of the city we haven't seen too. Like over to the left. Ah, here we go. Oh my god, go. Moving around in this game can be really annoying. Alright.
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
Wow. Yeah, it's still not gonna work. Didn't this damage my morale last time? Yeah, it's not gonna work. Why are you doing a running start? Just kind of like shimmy down, dude.
Nope, no. You could have died there.
Yeah, there goes my morale.
Let me just adjust your
And
breathing
health.
a little bit. There, isn't that better?
Hey, what's happening? It's okay. You're just having a little panic attack.
The necktie lets go a little.
Good. We can always come back when you're feeling better. It's just a cloak after all.
Alright, well that didn't go as planned. Can't get to that door. Died from the fall. Hey, money. If you can get to it, I selected it. Come on, man. He just like gives up. Grab it. God damn. Hey, I can buy a raincoat now. Alright, let's investigate more of the city. That's the bookstore.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Vandalism. Wait. I want to pat
This
it.
coin-operated viewer is the metal feels cold and wet under.
Enormous bulls worthy of a real man. Past the two old men, we'll get there.
Hey, up here, Piggo.
Pago. Rude. Recently painted.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Shake her hand,
I'm
I
glad
guess.
to see you here.
Tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
She did it.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Why'd you tell her that, dude?
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
Tell me about Wild Pines.
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do?
Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
How much money do they
I'm
have?
not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last
20 billion.
year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
The money I owe is so much less than that.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it
gunshot?
will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility. They started.
Where does it get all the
There's
billions?
an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
Workers.
We built this district.
She's mad.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions, the plazas Meteor and Mosaic, even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines
Have a good one,
built it
Groovedex.
as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
See you, Miso. What is your role
I
in
believe
this?
the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator.
And why are
In
you here
practice,
on a boat
I'm
instead of
aggressive
negotiating?
clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
Cargo go on ships and shipments by plane and truck? Good question.
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
How are they going? Well, Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
How were the talks going before the
Let's say
lynching?
I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
So this strike has been going on for a while.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you
Nice.
see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again?
Right to work.
Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
No idea about
In its
business.
defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board.
Most of them probably don't know what that
Fortunately, they
means.
explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Okay. But the scabs.
Scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
Tell me about Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity.
This conversation has taken a while.
If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Oh, there are two of them.
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. With a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. But they did it. I can respect that.
Morning, Wilkie.
Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Am I liking it? I mean, I feel really, like, absorbed in it, but I don't know how good of a stream game it is. It's a lot of just listening to dialogue.
Refreshingly honest, officer.
But it is really interesting.
Has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Stay neutral.
Of course, officer.
Something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Her daughter called. Okay, eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying that they don't have the Twitch integration for the console version. I wish they did.
The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, man. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help?
Tell me about the lynching.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes
Secret
sensitive
task
trade
complete.
secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Oh. Let's go with the only choice.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Let's just say yes.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
Great. Let's not involve the drinking in it.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Damn.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Well, we've got a high chance here, so let's go for suggestion.
She's a negotiator. Just float a favoritism. Insinuates.
Some
I
other
will
way?
be frank with you.
Morning, Polyhydrate.
If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Damn.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
What's up, buddy?
It's not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How'd you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Thought it was
This
going so
woman
well.
was running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
Huh.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
Don't investigate the drug
If there
trafficking?
is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
Alright.
I'm sure you will, Detective.
Get back to her.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Tell me about the alleged drug
It's
trafficking.
quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Okay, move on.
But you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
She's the one smuggling it to make the Union look bad. It's not a bad theory. Am I gonna need bolt cutters for this?
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they may be vulnerable.
Maybe we talk to the racist
Perhaps
again.
you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about
Yeah,
whose
okay.
jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
Okay.
She simply nods.
You know something about the
The man
tattoos?
who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about him.
Better not tie the forestay to the batstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
All right,
Of
that's
course,
all for now.
Detective. Take care.
I don't want to take her money, because then I'll owe her something. What's in here?
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked.
Let's try
The
knocking.
door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response.
Knock again.
The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
Any more?
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
I'm not joking.
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Tell her we're the real
Madame,
policeman.
I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just faint sweeping sounds inside.
All right.
Hey, up here, Piggo.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Start with your blood type and go from there.
Accosting a minor?
Listen to your partner, pigman. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
You know anything about
I
the
ain't
murder?
No snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No
Have a good one,
shortage
Val.
of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Keep looking off to the
The
side.
lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
You mean Joyce?
On a first name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world.
Well, the negativity.
Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor.
Maybe you can tell us something about the armor.
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Art for the body.
Alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time. Piggy, I have no idea why I just told you that. You look like a shaggy dog left in the rain for too long. I have a weakness for animals.
I like Cindy. What are you doing to the wall?
Tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
You don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mono is here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
I have an opinion.
Yeah?
Keep it up.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Okay, so there's nothing else over here. Oh, is that gonna go all the way down? Okay. Found some magnesium.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
I can retry this one.
You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinez, weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
What's my conceptualization skill at? I think it's pretty low. I want to put a point in empathy so I can retry the thing with Kuno. Oh, so now we're behind. There's Kuno S. A garden hose.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
You're not even sleeping.
Come to take me out? Trying to snuff me out? Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
Okay. God, sometimes you have to select things multiple times. Okay, that one's locked.
There must be another way into the building.
Why did that sound so weird? A balcony with a view to the yard and the hanging. Kim's tripping out. That was really odd. Okay. See you later, cup of nudes. All right, take your time. bullet holes, huh? Hey, I got a bag. Picked out of every joint in Revachol. Good for you. Where was that? Here we go. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's another viewer.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary.
All right, let's do it.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab gray shape, like a ghost. The lenses shift. The
Hey,
ghost
buddy.
sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort, its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it, its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind. The little
Hang in there,
brave
little one.
birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
Really?
Some kind of building.
I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Okay, well, I got experience, so. Dude, let me select the trash can. Is that not the one that I saw before? Maybe not. You want to sit on my lap, cat? There you go. Come on. Ugh. What's that?
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname.
Where?
Bullet holes.
There? Those are old.
What do you mean
These
old?
bullets were fired during the revolution, over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation.
What can you tell me about the revolution?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
I can't move. Ah.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past.
Wait,
You
I'm
tried
Harry?
shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Fuck, man. Okay, let's do this one. Fingerless gloves. Sure, let's wear the gloves that I found in the trash. Pawn shop, fast cash for faster times. What if he's got my gun?
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What is this?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Ooh.
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it. Or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
Alright, sure, I'll use my 50
Did
cents.
I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
Okay.
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago.
With the blue
They're
uniforms.
Not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Which ones? Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose.
What about the ones in
This
rags?
set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
Meant to be disheartening? Give people hope?
Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is.
Okay.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Oh, I can't look at my inventory right now?
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
I'm not buying a boombox. I could barely afford the 50-cent
Not
figurine.
often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
Life choice and become influencers.
What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but He prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Have you had any trouble lately?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection.
It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward? Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Straight to the point.
How would I know?
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
So the triangles.
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster. Had to take Parolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taking it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
This is the People's Pile.
Bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you, too.
Good boy, Miso. Good boy. Using your scratching post and not the couch. Proud of you. Tell me more about the Emergency Relief Brigade.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. And why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment. And early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Damn.
No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
Oh, I selected the wrong one. Tell me more about the Relief Brigade.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
How'd you end up running a pawn
The
shop?
cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but... I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
You might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
No one likes to see what you have to see every day.
You could help me get a
The
corpse out of a
corpse
tree.
Behind the hostel, I assume. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself. Ask around the harbour. There might be some workers there.
Okay.
Pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Sure, do you have any guns?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly
Aha!
sold
We
her
found the gun.
a couple days back.
What? Sold? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story.
Hmm.
It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me.
Quiet. Yourself, officer. You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money.
Well, I lost all the money too,
When
so.
I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
You sucked on a gun? Good. Very normal.
Very normal.
Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
We don't have to talk about it any
No
further.
apologies necessary, officer.
Was the Blair policeman
She
too?
didn't seem like a policeman.
I bet it was the lady
Although
down
she kept
on the boat.
referring to herself as a pig, which was
No, that wouldn't be her.
I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Look, you make it sound so bad, Kim.
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
I don't like
You're
it either.
right that she could cast aspersions on the Force. We have to find her.
Any idea where I can find her?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now.
So we know it was a woman.
You just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course.
Alright, other business. Let's get out of here.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Well, let's do it anyway.
You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk. Then, nothing happens.
Harder.
Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the situation.
Harder.
Nothing happens.
Release it.
Spring
Alright.
pulls the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal.
Close it
So,
on
by the way,
Wednesday?
Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Okay. What do you have to say?
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami.
Dude, I could go
with
for
an
some
old
salami.
Hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
You know what caused the
I wasn't
wreckage?
here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol.
The words Daredevil Driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a water lock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
What's further down the
Well,
coast?
there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
All right. Let's get out of here. There's Kim's car. Now that I have the bag in my hand, I want to go back over here once. Oh. Pick up some recycling. There we go. Cleaning up the streets like a good cop should. All right. I know. Go get him. All right. Yeah, I should get going. I'm gonna call it here. We'll continue on Monday. I gotta get to work. I got some stuff I gotta get done, and I'll be back this afternoon. We'll continue Breath of the Wild and more Disco Elysium on Monday. Probably go back to Kuno, put a point in empathy, and try that check again. Thank you guys very much for hanging out this morning, as always. Hope to see you again soon. Have a good rest of your day. If I don't see you, have a good weekend.